G'day viewers and welcome to the channel. Today I've had to come into District 1 to go to the immigration office to see about my temporary resident card. Now that I'm married, I'm eligible for that, but that's a story for another day, and I think I'll go through the long list of what's involved in getting married in Vietnam and the process of changing visas and whatnot so that you can remain in the country without having to do visa runs every 90 days. But for today, I figured it's about time I talked about dental treatment in Vietnam. It was one of my main reasons for coming over here earlier this year. Basically the story, in May last year I had a motorbike accident which resulted in me damaging front upper two teeth. The result of that was I had to have them removed, and I was basically looking at a future with a dental plate, and if anyone's had one or knows anything about them, it's probably the worst thing ever imaginable, especially with those two teeth. Basically made eating anything, it was just annoying as hell. So I did some research and found out you could get dental implants at a fraction of the cost in Vietnam, and in March this year I came over and visited a dentist over here. The one I chose is Kim Dental, and it was a pretty good deal overall. And I had two dental implants done for, it was just on $4,000 to replace the two teeth. That included, because I'd had the teeth removed, and there were basically, if you have teeth removed, the jaw will recede a bit, so I had to have some artificial bone graft just to build up the jawbone a little, so that cost a little bit extra. I think that was about the equivalent of 600 Australian dollars on top. The two implants, total price was, just for the implants, was $3,400, so $1,700 per implant, which is pretty good compared to the prices you'll pay in Australia. So alright, okay, we'll talk about the timeline involved in the whole process. I had my first appointment. I was just a walk-in. I didn't actually have an appointment when I first arrived at Kim Dental. I went in to make an appointment, and next thing you know, I was taken upstairs, had x-rays taken, sitting in a dentist chair and having an examination. So definitely no waiting. Not like dentists back in Australia where you'd be lucky to be seen within a month. So they took the x-rays, talked about the process for the implants and whatnot. You get to choose, like you can choose from any dental implant that you'd get in any Western dentist, US, Swiss. The ones I chose are South Korean. They're relatively cheap and as good as anything as far as I'm concerned, but you can choose what suits you. From there, while they did the examination, they found I needed 4 fillings, so I got those done at that time. Had a scale and clean done, and basically the entire bill for my first visit was $120 for 4 fillings and a clean and an x-ray, which is amazingly cheap. I think the fillings were about $24 each, and about the same for the clean. And that's massively cheaper than what you'll pay for any of that in Australia. I mean, I think the last time I had a filling, it was like $350, or it might have been more. Anyway, from that, made an appointment to come back and do the implants, and that was a fun 2 weeks of thinking about going back to the dentist, because I certainly don't enjoy it, and I don't think anyone else does either. But the day finally came, and I think the entire procedure to put the the posts in for the implant teeth to screw to took about an hour and a half. Surprisingly painless, and even after the procedure was completed, I only really needed a little bit of Panadol and some ibuprofen just for a bit of swelling around the jaw for a day or two. The next day, returned to get temporary teeth put in. I had temporary ones because I had the artificial bone graft. That takes about 3 months to fully heal and strengthen, so you can't get everything done in one day if you have to go down the bone graft path. If you don't, as far as I'm aware, I think you can have the whole process done in one day and walk out and you're done forever. But anyway, basically told it to take 3 to 6 months for the bone graft to heal. Took 3 months in my case. During that time, had regular appointments for checkups to check that everything was going well. At one point, they even mentioned to me that if I had any issues or worries about something, that they would actually, just to call them, and they'd come and see me at my hotel in District 1. So that shows you the level of service that they will offer. But all that was included, all the follow-up appointments, all the follow-up x-rays was all included in the one price. So there's nothing more to pay. Then basically 3 months later, had the temporary teeth taken off and the permanent ones were placed in. And again, a couple of appointments to make sure they were going well, and since then, everything's good. It's far better than having a dental plate. That thing was just absolutely shocking, as I've already mentioned. So glad to have thrown that in the bin. But yeah, that's my experience with getting implants in Vietnam. Of course, if you just need implants and not the bone graft and not the follow-ups and all that, it's going to be cheaper than what I paid. So, you know, like, save some money and come to Vietnam, or there are other countries, Thailand, India, I believe, is pretty big for dental work these days. But do a bit of research and find somewhere to come and get it done. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up this video. Making them a little bit more regularly now, which is good, and want to make quite a few more. As I said at the beginning, I'll do one on getting married in Vietnam and the process of changing your visa and whatnot over. It's an experience in itself, believe me. But you know, you just got to go through the processes. No point getting angry about it. You just got to accept how they do things in a different country. Well, if you found it informative, subscribe to the channel. There's more to come, and I look forward to making the next one. Thanks, guys. Take care.